Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so you should have on the back of the third page of your monopolistic competition oligopoly packet, chart or worksheet that looks like this. Should be the back of your page number 3, where we got Albert the Ambitious and Horatio the Horrible, two magicians, each trying to figure out what would be best for their magic show. Okay. Now, also, if you look in the directions here, you can visit my YouTube channel. And I have some other videos about helping you read these charts for oligopolies. Now, you'll notice that this is set up a little bit different than the one that I made on the front. So this is actually probably the way that the AP test sets up more often. Instead of dividing the box like I did, but you can see it either way. It's very common. So if you look in the directions here, the first number listed below represents the profits Albert the Ambitious would earn. So the first numbers represent Albert. So here's the way that you should do this. So on the test, you won't have color, but just put an extra box around Albert. I'm going to do it in color because I have the sweet ability with my computer here, I think. So there we go. He's red here, and I'm going to underline all of the first numbers with red so that I know that this is Albert's number. Okay. So you could put a box around this. I would, if I was you, I'd put another box around Albert the Ambitious, and then I would put a box like so around each one of those numbers. Okay. That way there's no confusion. Those are Albert's numbers. No boxes are Horatio's numbers. Now, some of you, I would suspect you're very, very good. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, no problem. All right. I would even encourage you right now to pause the video and give it a try on your own here. And I'll wait so that you can pause, and I'll have a drink of water. All right. So I'll walk you through this one, and then I'm going to set you free to do a couple on your own here. Now, if Horatio the Horrible chooses no new trick, what should Albert the Ambitious do? Let me see here. I'm going to pull up, hang on, I'm going to pause actually so you don't have to watch me do this. So here's what I did. If Horatio the Horrible chooses no new trick, so Horatio chooses to go no new trick, so he's over here. I thought I made that black, but whatever. And what I did is I got this, and I put this here. The reason I put this here is not because I care that you look at it. In fact, I don't want you to look at the right side of this chart, because if Horatio the Horrible is choosing no new trick, we only care about the left side here. He is not choosing to add the trick, so it doesn't make any difference for Albert. Albert says, oh, okay, he's going to go no new trick. What should Albert do? Well, if you look at Albert's options now, he can choose new trick, or he can choose no new trick, or he can choose to add it. And if you look at the numbers, he's choosing between 400 and 450. Well, if you want to choose to make more profit, what should you do? Well, if I'm Albert, I am going to choose add new trick. And so what you do for your answer, you go, let's do that again. You're right. Let me make this a little smaller. So if Horatio chooses no new trick, I am going to choose add trick, because 450 is greater than 400, period. Okay? And that tells me why. That makes perfect sense to Mr. Sutton, right? He's choosing $450 over $400. Again, you don't look over here, because this is if Horatio chooses to add the trick. And he is not. He is going no new trick. So now let's try the second one for me. If Horatio the Horrible chooses add new trick, what should Albert the Ambitious do? See if you can figure it out on your own. I'm going to pause my video for a second. So again, now I move the box over just a little bit, so now I'm covering when Horatio chooses no new trick, because it says clearly in number 2 that Horatio is choosing to add the trick. So if he's adding, these are Albert's two choices between 475 and 300. So he would add a new trick. So your answer would be add trick, because 475 is greater than 300. Okay, so try 3 and 4, and I'll just knock them out real quick here when you get back. So if you are still struggling, use your hand here. I'm not going to put it up here. I'm going to walk you through now. So if Albert chooses no new trick, which is up here at the top, so I'm going to ignore all the numbers on the bottom. I'm just looking at this row right here. So if Albert chooses oh, I apologize. Let me revise my statement there. So Albert is choosing to add a new trick, so I'm going to ignore the top, and I'm going to pay attention to the bottom here. I apologize for that confusion. So again, Albert's choosing to add the new trick. I'm ignoring what's up top. Ignore that. So I'm just looking down here. Albert's adding a new trick. So Horatio's choices are to go no new trick or to add the new trick. It looks like he's choosing between 450 and 400. So if I'm Horatio, I am going to go no new trick because 450 is bigger than 400. Let me extend that out just a little bit. Like that. Okay? Is everybody with me? If not, make sure you let me know, ask me a question. All right? If Albert the Ambitious, going on to number 4, chooses no new trick, so now he's choosing the top row, I'm going to ignore the bottom row that I was just looking at, so ignoring here. So no new trick. Horatio has a choice between 500 and 600. Well, if I'm Horatio, I am going to add new trick because 600 is bigger than 500. All right? And that's how they're going to make their distinctions here. Now, I'm going to show you, actually, I want you to go do something for me. Hold on one second. All right, what I want you to do, I want you to go on to what is page 4 in this packet. You'll notice it looks almost, it is exactly the same as this setup, except for I changed some of the numbers in here, so the answers are now different. I want you to go answer 1, 2, 3, and 4 on page number 4 right now. Go do that. If you have trouble, let me know, and then we'll fix those before we move on. So go do that right now.